right, well, an email from immigration officials revealing a push, and I mean a big one, to swear in as many new citizens as possible. This one's a doozy. There are many, but this one caught our attention. The field office, due to the election year, needs to process as many of their N-400 cases, that's the approval process final forms, between now and fiscal year 2016. So there was a mad dash. And why would that be? Congressman Pete Sessions, from the state of Texas, I'm sure you want to know, right? What did you make of that?
Neil, to me, it's a push. When you look at N-400s, it's pushing those applications directly through to citizenship. And this is the focus of what the email is about, asking these offices, field offices, to even take all the time, including overtime, to process, even disregarding other types of work that they have to do, to process as many people as they can in an N-400 status from their paperwork to citizenship. You and I both understand how obnoxious this is to an agency that is having a difficult time determining who is here as a special interest alien, who should we be deporting, and who do we automatically then turn around and find out we've accepted as citizens, not be open enough about the problems that they've got.
No, we accepted better than 858 of them who mistakenly got this because of this rush job. There are many, though, Congressmen, who look at this and say, what if the government would be so prompt on a lot of issues? A lot of conservatives targeted by the IRS for tax-exempt status. And, of course, a lot of their applications were just sitting in inboxes for years. So obviously the rush of government comes depending on the need of the moment and whose need. But what are you going to do now?
Well, what we've done this morning, I wrote a letter to the Secretary Johnson, asking questions and really questioning why, until they had completed their complete evaluation about the problems that they have that brought people who had applied for these processes to then receive them, and then people who they're trying to spend overtime money to try and now process in without even knowing the frailties of their own system. And it is a real problem. We hope the Secretary, who has the letter, will respond back forthrightly. But what we are receiving is Homeland Security.
But could I ask this, and you're much smarter on this than I am, I just want to be clear. They have been turning this around to say, well, we had everything in order, and we wanted to make sure we were doing our jobs to be ahead of this so there were no delays. You find that a little specious.
Well, what I find interesting is why they would disregard and tell people, even do these first and the other parts, even if you ignore other parts of the job, do this part, to citizenship. Yes, I find
without
not
having
only
all the paperwork in, like it's sort of like motor vehicles in my state of New Jersey. If you don't have 7 different forms of ID, 6 ain't going to cut it. So
well,
a lot of them didn't have all the paperwork in, so it doesn't matter whether there's something nefarious is going on. If you don't have all the stuff in, you don't have all the stuff in. They were jumping that in the department, right?
We believe that's true, but what we believe is that they're putting an emphasis on leaving the other parts that would be investigative backgrounds, that would be gathering information, and trying to provide that information so that they can make a realistic determination about the people who would follow through for citizenship. The questions that we still have that loom out there are the processes that they've gone through, and why and how did they make mistakes? What countries were these people from? What were their backgrounds, and what are the common denominators? And they still have not resolved that to answer us. So why would they move forward in an expedited fashion? The answer is pure politics by the Department of Homeland Security out of the Obama administration that is directly in line with the accusations that Republicans have been making of politicizing the department to have new people come in who would be eligible to be voters. And that is why this is playing itself out. We have questions. They have not given us answers.
All right, we'll keep on top of this, Congressman. Good seeing you again. Thank you very much.
You bet.